Hey, welcome back. Hope you've had a good week. Last week, I framed in the rough opening for a door. This week is about sheetrock and then building a door jamb. I had to put in this triangular piece of sheetrock to cover up the stringer when I put a new ceiling in at this same height. And then I also put this sheet in, but it's actually just temporarily attached right now. I'm going to have to pull it back down when I put in the tread and the risers on the staircase. For the main piece of sheetrock, I had to actually come back and cut the old sheetrock to get a more level line for the two pieces to meet up at. And then after cutting it at the height I needed, I put it in place, marked the back side at the corner, cut that off, and here we are. I drew some lines about 2 inches inside of where I think the rough opening is, and I've already cut 2 sides of that, so I can cut this third side, remove this big piece, and then go back and trim the sheetrock to the exact rough opening. To cut sheetrock, you just need to make a shallow cut from one side. Then you can pop the board and it'll break across that line, and you can cut all the way through. Now that I can get under the stairs, I can just cut right up against the jack stud, scoring the sheetrock. And I already started that cut from the bottom. Now I should just be able to break it and cut this piece off from the front side. Now I just need to repeat that for the top and the other side. Now that I'm finished cutting the sheetrock, I went back around and put a lot of screws in it. Only place left is here on the corner. I've got this vinyl corner bead to install that'll give it a nice crisp edge after mudding. With the corner bead installed, I can switch gears and start on the door jamb. I picked up a 10-foot 1x12, and after going through the entire stack, I found one that had next to no knots in it. And I ripped it down at my dad's table saw because it's got such a nicer fence. First thing I need to do is cut the vertical pieces to height. This side of the opening is a 1/4 inch taller than this side, but only half of that is due to the floor. The other half because this header isn't quite level. So I'm going to make this piece just 1/8 of an inch taller than this side, and then the top of it, when installed, should be perfectly level. I think I'm going to cut this side at about 75 1/8, I think will fit in there. So then this side will be 75 1/4. Back in the shop, I can cut both boards at the same time if I just make sure that one of them sticks 1/8 of an inch past the other one. Alright, I'm just about ready to make the rabbets that'll hold the top of the jamb. I started by marking a line 3/4 of an inch down from the top, and then with the bit just barely extended past the faceplate, I set the router in place at both ends and clamp down this board that'll act as a jig. Now I just need to set the router bit out 3/8 of an inch, and that is how deep I want the rabbet to be. So it's time to cut the top of the jamb, and there's just a little bit of math that's involved with that. I want the door to be 32 inches wide, and the jamb needs to be 1/4 inch wider than that, and then these rabbets are 3/8 of an inch deep on either side. So 32 plus 1/4 plus 3/8 plus 3/8 is actually a really nice 33 inches. These corner clamps make it super easy to hold the boards together while I glue and tack them. Clamping power is provided by wedges. Alright, the jamb is in place, just need to level it, plumb it, shim it, and this will be done. I decided to go with screws for the extra holding power, which just means I need to pre-drill. I'm setting the screws 2 inches back from the front, which means they'll get covered by doorstop later on. Let's see, I used 2-inch deck screws and there were 7 of them total. 3 on each side and 1 in the top of the middle of the top. And then to come back and cut off the shims, you could use a razor knife and then break it with a hammer. Or, I got this for Christmas, it's a Japanese pull saw and it makes quick work of it. That's going to do it for this project. I had originally planned on building the door next week, but I think that project has gotten pushed down the line. My goal is actually to be working toward tread and risers on the stairway, and this door isn't really going to help me do that. So I'm not sure what's up next. Maybe I'll have a video next week, maybe I won't. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Have a great weekend, and as always, get out there and make some sawdust.